Hi, my name is Clemens Weijers. Welcome back. Thank you for all the positive response on my previous video. Today we will look at changing a habit. We're looking at it more in depth and we're going to debunk some common sense about it. And we'll look at a common pitfall people encounter a lot when they try to change a habit that they really want to change. So let's say you have a habit of eating a bag of candy every day. And at some point you get sick of it, you get tired of it, you say no more, I want to change this because in some years I will have negative consequences of this behavior. Although I'm not experiencing them today, I will have them later and I will quit this behavior completely, entirely. So you go to your friends and you say, hey listen, up until now I have been eating a bag of candy every day, bag like this. And enough from it, I get too fat from it, I get thirsty and in many years I will have negative consequences, so I quit. And your friends might say, don't be so harsh on yourself, it's good that you want to eat less candy, but why don't you try to quit and then when you really crave it you just take one more bag. So once every week or every other day, and you think, well, this common sense, this makes sense because I won't be eating candy every day anymore. I will be eating it less, plus I won't be celibate completely. I will enjoy the taste of candy that I love so much every once in a while. Wrong, and I'll show you why. Let's say this is your anticipation, so anticipating your daily bag of candy that will end up in your stomach. Anticipation from 0 to 100. I just made that up. Here on the other axis is the time in days. So I have written down 6 days. Let's say you wake up and you start anticipating your daily lows. So anticipation goes up and at the end of the day it's pretty high and you decide to reward yourself, you're gonna eat the candy. So boom, reward, eating the candy. What happens in your brain is a chemical is released, dopamine, that makes you feel good instantly. So you think, that tastes very nice, you feel fulfilled, so the anticipation level drops radically because you're fulfilled in that moment, you've had enough. Another day you wake up, same thing happens. Anticipation is maybe a little bit less because you had a very good breakfast, but still it is there, you want the taste, you want the taste again. So another reward, candy, same thing happens. Third day, you're really craving it, it's a bit higher. Same thing happens, reward is given because you decide to eat the candy, tastes great. Yum, 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 yum. 4th day, same story, etc. etc. So we have a repeating pattern. There's every day we anticipate eating the candy and we have like regular rewards. It's about the same time. So let's say you follow the advice from your friends and you will quit this behavior. Or at least change it. Now, cleaning. It's my behavior. So, first day, new morning, new wishes, new goals. You say, I will quit, but if things get worse and I really would like the candy, I will eat it. What happens to your level of anticipation? Think about it. It's growing because that's what you're used to. But you are strong, you say I won't do it. Next day, anticipation grows. Third day, keeps about the same. Then something negative happens and you are like on day 4. I really wish that bag of candy, I could eat it now. I really wish that. And it goes on, and then you decide, I can't take it no longer. You're craving it so much, boom, rewarding yourself at a much higher anticipation level. Now think about it, what will this do to your behavior? If you reward yourself for such a high level of anticipation after all this waiting, what happens is you reward yourself for waiting this long. So the behavior of eating the candy is hereby rewarded in a very, very good way. So that's why this is not really effective. You can compare this to gambling. You put in money, you pull the lever, and you don't win. So you put in some more, and after 3-4 times suddenly you win. So what happens is you think, this behavior you have done already, you see it as an investment, so you continue because there might be a chance that you will win eventually. And this is basically the same operating model going on here unconsciously. You set yourself up for failure because after all this investment you reward yourself. So you rewarded yourself for putting in, investing days of waiting. So that's why, quitting a habit like smoking only in the weekend usually doesn't work. Or when you say, when I will feel really bad, and the same with alcohol and especially other addictive substances or addictive behaviors. It doesn't work. One side note I want to make about candy and food in general is that sugar is a very addictive substance and our society is full of it. If you walk into a supermarket, it's everywhere. So what I want to say about it is it's not completely your fault, because when you want to change behavior and people are rubbing it in your face constantly, you're not very strong. You won't do it alone on willpower. You need a very good plan. And so don't be harsh on yourself if you are not able to change that immediately. But what I wanted to show you is that this is a very common pitfall. So don't take this route. It might sound rational at first, but if you think about this, it won't work. So what works then? Unfortunately, abstaining completely is one of the best ways, because that is one of the ways that your behavior, the behavior of eating the bag of candy, anticipating it, will slowly but gradually die out. But you need a lot of time for it. One way to do that is what I talked about before, imagining the negative consequences it will have. Because behavior like this, and the same is with smoking or drinking a lot of alcohol, eating a lot of sugar, is that in the moment there are not really negative consequences. They are mainly pleasurable consequences that make you crave it more. But what you can do is think about these consequences, and not just with your hand, not just say like, oh yeah, I might get sick in a couple of years, but other people get sick too, and you rationalize your way out of it. If you really are committed to make a change, you must imagine these consequences vividly. And I mean vividly. Like, okay, if I eat candy like this at this rate, after many years I will be very obese, my heart will deteriorate. And you have to imagine this happening, the consequences for your life. Your loved ones carrying you to the grave, for example. Make it really vivid, because that might scare you in this moment enough to make the actual change. Because usually people ignore these things, they don't go that route because it's not now, and it's easy to just slip out and continue the behavior. But if you would get a heart attack or something of that kind immediately after eating the bag of candy, you would change the behavior, of course, if you are still able to do that. On the other hand, you have to replace the behavior with more accepted behavior. For example, every time I think of reaching for the bag of candy, I decide I will go for a run, because a run will give you also pleasurable chemicals in your brain, and will give you fulfillment, and in the long term you will feel better, you will feel more fit. And you have to imagine the consequences of that behavior too on the long term. You will feel, what I said, you will feel better, your skin will look better, you will be more productive, etc., etc. So then on one side you have all these super negative consequences, maybe in the far future. You pull towards you, you look at them, you don't ignore them, you take it in, you think what it means, you know, so that every candy tastes like death. That's how Karagangan lyrics come into existence. And on the other hand, you imagine all the positive consequences and the pleasure you will get from that really up front and close.